Capablanca traps his opponent Eugene Znosko-Borovsky in this match, helping him capture one of the major pieces of Eugene, forcing his resignation as well. So Capablanca is playing with the white pieces here, and Eugene with the black pieces on the board. So it's a Queen's Gambit on the board now. It's a Queen's Gambit decline variation. This is the Tarrasch defense that is being played, but this pawn is pushing here, putting in more pressure on the center here. So after the C pawn captures the D5 pawn, E pawn captures the D5 pawn back, and knight comes to F3 here, giving protection for this pawn over here. So knight to C6 is played here, giving in more pressure on the central D4 pawn, and pawn push to G3 is played here, allowing Kepa to pre-enter his bishop, go for castling on the king side. So knight to F6 is played in response by black, and bishop to G2 is played here, allowing the fianchetting of the bishop, and bishop to E7 by black, and now both players are looking to castle on the king side of the board. So after that, the d pawn captures the c5 pawn, allowing the bishop to come into the center of the board. Knight immediately goes to a4 here, attacking this unprotected bishop, and bishop goes back to e7 here. So bishop to e3 is played here, developing the bishop, and knight comes to e4 here, using this pawn here as an outpost. So as you can see, this pawn, it is an isolated pawn, and it could be an asset or could be a liability in the game for black. So knight now jumps to d4 here, keeping the knight in the center here, also opening up space for this light square bishop as well. So knight to e5 is played here, now going for the exchange of the knights, and rook comes to c1 into this open c file, trying to get control of that c file. Queen immediately goes to a5 here, attacking the knight, which is protected by the queen at the moment. And because of this unprotected pawn, you cannot move the knight right now. You can move it here if you want to. So bishop to f4 is played, attacking the knight, and knight jumps to g6, attacking the bishop in return. And bishop now goes to c7, attacking the queen from the c file from c7. So queen goes to a6 here, and pawn is pushed to a3 here, allowing you to push b4 here, and maybe bringing the knight here, and using that pawn on b4 as an outpost. So bishop to d7, hitting the knight twice, and knight now retreats to c3, and after that knight captures, that knight happens, and rook captures the knight, keeping the protection for that bishop here. And bishop to e6 is played here, which actually is not the best move, and in this scenario already Capablanca is slightly better in this position. The best move was to bring the rook here to c8, and to try to exert your own control on the c file. Now in this position, Capa can simply double up the queen or the rooks in this position. So one push to b4 by Capablanca, and b6 is played, which is a mistake, and basically the best move was to bring the bishop here to e4. So e4 is played by Capa, but the best move was to push f4, and he played e4, and after the capture, the pawn is captured back with the bishop with an attack on the rook. You could go for this move, but in between move of this knight capturing this particular bishop could be played, but he didn't go for that immediately. So the rook comes to e8, where the best move was to bring the bishop here and counter-attacking this particular rook of Capa. So this allows knight to capture this bishop here, and pawn captures back here, creating another isolated pawn here, which is unprotected as well. So bishop to c6 is played, attacking the rook here, and bishop to f6 is played in response. Basically, both rooks are under attack. Both this rook is defended, and Capa's rook is not defended here. So b5 is played in response by Capa, attacking the queen here, not going for that exchange of rooks or whatever you want to do in that position. But queen was attacked. Queen went to c8, and rook now drops to c2 here. So if you're wondering what will happen if the queen captures c7, basically this discovered option will basically just capture the rook, and after that you can just snap off the you know knight if you want to, because the queen is under attack. Got to move forward, so that line is not possible here, and rook to e7 is played instead. So bishop comes to d6 here, basically attacking both the rooks here, and rook comes to d8 in response because of the pin here. If you capture the rook, your queen will be gone, so you cannot capture right now. So pawn push to f4 is played by Kappa now. One of the best move was to bring the rook to e1, and king to h8 is now played. Where the best move was to bring this rook around here and attack this bishop here. So rook comes to f2, bringing both the rooks onto the second rank, and rook to f7 is played here, and rook f2 d2 is now played here, giving more support for the central bishops. And rook to g8 is played in response by black, and queen goes to h5 here. So rook d8 to d8 is now played, queen to d8 is played, and as of this position, basically Capablanca is better in this position. So bishop now comes to e4 here. Basically this knight here is pinned here. If you move the knight, it will be checkmate here, and even if you go for the capture, you cannot capture back, and only push the pawn here. And because of that, something should have been done, but knight to f8 is played here, which actually is a mistake, which allows the capture of this rook. The best move was to bring this rook here and try to get this capture of this bishop in exchange of that particular piece. This allow Keba to just capture this rook instead of that particular knight. And as of this position, his opponent Eugene Borovsky resigned the game because he lost a major piece, and it was pointless to continue this position. So that's it. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with more such videos of CapaConda and other great plays.